you're asleep on yourself, man. We feel as people like our life is this big long thing that we have so much time for, but scripture describes our life as but a vapor. Imagine this cord as our life, right? Now this little piece right here, this is our life on earth. And what we do in this little part of our life affects the rest of our life, affects our eternity, affects our future family, our legacy, right? So use this time in your life wisely.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic.
YouTube, what is good? It has been a minute, but today we are going to change my man's life. So we're going to take it down to a number 4 guard, and I'm going to do this all the way throughout the head to lay out the foundation for the cut. And you want to make sure that you're going against the grain of the hair. So you'll see me go in a bunch of different directions. That's to make sure that I take it all down to a number 4 without any unevenness. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm combing it back as I cut. Now I'm going to establish my bald line. So I'm going to start in the back, and what this is going to do is allow me to make sure that the fade is consistent throughout the entire head. And in this cut, he's not going to have any arches, so I'm going to start where the top of the arch would be, and then I'm going to connect that all the way to the back. Now everything under that line, we're going to go ahead and use our trimmers to bald it out, and we're going to allow the trimmer to do the work. You don't want to cause too much irritation by, scraping the clipper against his head. And we're going to do this all throughout. And then we're going to follow it up with the shaver just to get it slightly closer to the skin. And that's going to allow the haircut to last a little bit longer and really make that fade pop. And now to get into the next step, we're going to come in with our lever all the way open. And we're going to maintain that same shape that we created with that bald line. And you'll see me go over this guideline a couple times just to ensure that it's truly a lever all the way open. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step, which is the 1.5 guard closed. And we're going to go up about 1.5 inches here above that open. And we're not trying to create too much of a harsh line with this guard. We want to make sure that we're kind of flicking out at the top of this guideline. And that's just going to make it a little easier to get out. And now right under that 1.5, we're going to come in with our 1 guard all the way open. And we're stopping slightly below where the top of that 1.5 guard ended. And then we're going to blend down from here. So you'll see me go ahead and close that 1 guard. And that'll really lighten up that line between the lever open and that 1.5. But it's not going to get rid of it completely. So we're going to come in with our 1/2 guard open here. And you'll see if the 1/2 guard open isn't doing the job, I'll go ahead and close that lever slightly until that line is completely blended out. And now we're going to do something a little different here. So usually I would continue the guards all the way up into that 4. But I want to use clipper over comb just to be more efficient and save some time. And give you guys another skill that you can add to your arsenal. So right here I'm using my flat top comb with my lever all the way open. And when you have the lever all the way open against this comb, it is equivalent to a 1 guard. And that'll kind of give you guys, some measurements to gauge. But I'm coming in with the comb and then flaring out slightly as I move up into the top. And now to soften this blend up just a little bit, I'm going to come in with my thinning shears here. And just like I did with clipper over comb, I'm coming in with this comb and I'm flaring out as I move up. And that should allow the hair to just feed through the comb nicely. And you can see towards the back, the clipper over comb didn't necessarily do the job. So I'm coming back with my 2 guard here to kind of bring everything together. And now to get rid of this last line, I'm going to come in with my lever closed, and then as we move up into the fade, I'll go ahead and open up that lever. And you'll see right here, I open that lever just slightly, and I'm being very light-handed with it. I'm not, being super heavy-handed. I'm kind of tapping at that line as I move up, using a lot of the corner of the blade to get into those dark areas. And using the corners are really going to help you, especially towards the back of his head, because that's where a lot of clients or most people have indentations, that's just caused by the bone that they have. And you'll see this is where I spend majority of the time, is in the detailing process with the corner of the blade. So I'm going to let you guys just watch for the next few minutes, and you're going to see this blend come together. So right here, I just grabbed my one guard, and again, I'm just still detailing. Now I'm going with the grain to smooth everything out. And so far, the blend is coming together very nicely. Now we're gonna move on to the other side, and we're gonna follow the same exact system, starting with the lever all the way open, continuing that straight to the back. And usually when I'm cutting hair and I'm not recording, I do this all throughout the head at one time. But for the sake of video, I do one side at a time. So now we're going to follow that up with a 1.5 guard closed, going up about 1.5 inches here, just slightly bigger than that lever all the way open. And I know you guys have been waiting for a review on these JRL clippers, and I've had them for 2 to 3 months now, so I think I can make a pretty solid review on these. So the video will be dropping soon, I promise, so be on the lookout. And we're just continuing with this one guard, and right here I'm gonna go ahead and close it. And you'll see on this side of the head, when I close this one guard, the lever into this one guard doesn't blend as well as the other side. And that just goes to show that every client's head is different. Most people have a side that fades easier than others, so it's important that you take time to really detail the blend and make both sides look consistent. And now right under that one guard, I'm going to come in with my half guard once again. And slowly but surely, this blend is coming together. It's all about trusting the process and finding a fading system that works for you. There's tons out there, so try all of them, see what's easier, what works best, and then try to perfect that, and then you can move on to other systems. And now we're gonna come in here with our clipper over comb once again, and I'm coming in with the comb and flaring out slightly. And anything sticking out of the teeth of the comb, we're gonna go ahead and cut off with our lever open. And I know for me, early on when I tried to learn how to do clipper over comb, it was very scary because I felt like I was gonna take off a big chunk of hair at once. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you feel. To ensure that you won't cut off too much hair, what I would suggest is putting a one guard on the clipper and then doing clipper over comb, and that's just gonna make it a lot easier and make you more confident when you do it. And on this side, I forgot to show taking out the last line, but you can see it came together very nice. The back blends very nicely to both sides. And now we're just taking some time to detail right here with that one guard. And now we're gonna take that guard off. And now to blend into the beard, we're gonna follow the same exact system, just in the opposite direction. So I went in open, and then the line between the open and bald, I went in closed, and then opened it gradually. Now we're going to come in here with our one guard open, and the beard actually blends a little easier than on the head, and that's because just the hair texture on the face is a little different. And now to get into the lineup. So something I've been doing lately is lining up his vertical bars first and then going to the front hairline, and that's just gonna help me to ensure that I don't go too deep into the corners, so where I push, you know, his vertical bars back. So I went ahead and lined up his left one, then I went to the middle, and then I'm gonna move over to the right, or his left, sorry. And we want to make sure that we're trying to get this as sharp and as crispy as possible while keeping it as natural as possible as well. So now I'm going to move on to the other side and do the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the middle and connect those 2 points. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Most people will try to make that corner so crispy that they end up digging into that, you know, that box area too much. So lining up the vertical bar first just helps me to prevent doing that. And now we're gonna add some enhancements. So I'm gonna use my Kiss Express mixed with alcohol, and then we're gonna spray that on the line. And you want to make sure that you're keeping it as natural looking as possible. You don't want to make it look like it's painted on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just using the card as kind of like, you know, to protect from the overspray and getting on his forehead. So I'll go ahead and spray a little bit, move the card, and then I'll decide whether or not I need to add more color. And you can already see how it took that hairline to the next level. And now to get into the beard, I'm going to go ahead and start off by lining up the back of his beard, keeping that as natural as possible as well. And then I'm going to go to the bottom. And you can already see after I lined up the bottom how much fuller it really made his beard look. Now we're gonna hit his line with the razor, and this is really gonna take that line to a whole nother level. It's just gonna get rid of all those hairs that the trimmer couldn't necessarily get. And for the beard, you always want to start at the top, and then I'll go to the bottom and connect those 2 points in the middle, and that's going to allow me to get that nice round shape on the beard without digging into it too much. And then you want to make sure that you brush away that initial ash line and then line it up again to ensure that you have the crispiest line possible. And I'm being real careful around that area because as you can see, he has a little pimple. I don't want to go over it and cut him. And now to add some like a polished look to the haircut, I'm gonna use some Suavecito pomade and I'm gonna rub it into his hair. And this is gonna make it look a little cleaner. But family, this is how my man came in looking. This is how he's leaving. I think he went from like 40 to 20. Let me know what you think in the comments about this cut. If this helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And always make sure that you're cleaning the client's head afterwards. Spray them down with alcohol. But family, again, thank you for watching this video. I will catch y'all next time.